Day 2, Buttonwillow. Another shot at that Sub2. Doing a little cleaning. Oh, that's heavy. Day 2, Buttonwillow. Slept in the trunk. I got some hand warmers in the shop yesterday, in the race shop where I bought my Buttonwillow sticker. Total game changer. Going to bed, threw one down there by my feet, and they got so warm I actually had to take my socks off, which was a very welcome change. Preheated, no fog like there was yesterday. Got a reminder on my phone that I got to put in some octane booster. I don't know. Look, it's a real octane booster, not one of them fake octane boosters. Tune is still for 93. They only got 91 at all the pump gas stations, or sometimes they have 100, because that makes sense. We won't sell 93, that's bad for the environment, but we'll sell 100. Put that there so I don't forget. Huge shout out to Daniel Drives, Dan Mobley, for grabbing my spare Hoosiers. Driving up from San Diego, brought his Marauder. Went out of his way to stop in Culver City and grab my tires because they are starting to get a little thin on the inside edges. I don't know if I'll put them on, but they do have a tire shop literally right across from where I paddock. So pretty cool. Hey, can I film you for YouTube?
Yeah, sure.
This is Dan. He grabbed my tires. Thank you so much. The sickest Marauder I've ever seen in my life. Look, he's even got good brakes. Got them Chevy brakes. Son got them Ford hood vents though. There's a lot of black going on this car. At least we're in the same club. Wah, wah, wah.
So far this thing's POV is a 207 here.
Yeah.
It was also that at Chuckwalla on the same set of tires.
Yeah.
And then I put the V730s on and I did a 205 at Chuckwalla. So if I can pull a 205 here today, I'd be stoked.
Yeah, that'd be super sick.
We're also like a year and a half old now, so I don't know how they degrade. We'll see.
I only got one season out of mine, but I loved them. I had 255s on that car.
Yeah.
On a 8.5-inch rim.
Okay.
But they were fast.
Yeah.
And they're so cheap. Wish they made them in a size bigger than 275. Come on, Kumo. What's up? 275? That's kid shit. Come on. The driver's meeting is probably right about 2 minutes. All right, first session, what's up? Got a pretty good recollection of the track from the day before, so I can go out and go a little bit quicker than I was yesterday straight out of the gate. Hopefully don't uncover any issues with the car, run into too much traffic. Things were going pretty good, a little bit of traffic, but eventually I had this Miata come running up on me, and I tucked in behind him, figured I'd see if I could learn a thing or two. Dichotomy of the difference between our two cars is so laughable to me, but somehow we run about the same pace, which is just hilarious.
Ripping flat into and all the way through this section was probably one of my favorite spots on Buttonwillow. Felt like a pretty good lap. Let's see where we're at. Alright, first session, 2037. I'll take it. Who am I kidding? That's my fastest lap yet. I'm stoked.
You are not a snow dog. I am just not brave enough here. Doing a little cleaning.
A little bit.
Meanwhile, I missed Daniel's off-track excursion. It was hard enough that he actually put the frame cross member into the dirt.
Isn't it? God damn it.
Little off-track excursion.
Oops. Happens to the best of us. And the worst.
It's not too often I get to be paddock homies with people that have other grandpa sedans. Walked around the paddock till I could find the dudes with the NC that I was chasing. Chatted with them a bit. Pretty cool. Also came across this wild pair of blue chrome Camaros.
Another GT4 Camaro.
Just like that, time for our second session. Off to a good start on the first flyer, hot behind this quick Audi, but yeah, traffic. Oh well, the view is cool. My Audi guy's getting through. Unfortunately for me, not quite enough power, and now I'm stuck glued to another Miata bumper for a little bit. But it was good footage, and good fun. Okay, 2029. Fastest yet, still making progress. I was feeling pretty good going into lunchtime. The sun was still not out, so the track was staying cool. Took a couple minutes to take a look at my equipment, like my tires, which I was already a little worried about, and sure enough, we got some cords on the right front. However, I did have my emergency backup Hoosiers, courtesy of Daniel. And fortunately, they do have the tire shop right across from where I'm paddock. The guys at the tire shop said they could definitely knock it out over lunchtime. So, making moves. Felt bad to retire these guys with only the one tire showing cords, but what are you gonna do? Rest of the tires look pretty good. I guess 4 degrees of camber will do that to you when you're dragging that inside front. At the time, the Track Attack Pros had just come out, and allegedly they were probably the fastest 200 treadwear tire, so needless to say, I was pretty excited to give them a shot. Of course, I didn't know it at the time, but this was about to be my fastest Buttonwillow lap of the mission so far. got super lucky that this guy was courteous enough to let me by. Closing in on this Corvette pretty quick. I let off just a little bit in case he did something sketchy, but got through pretty quick, pretty efficient. Oh man, so close. So close, but not quite. Oh well, we got 2 more sessions. Except I'm not so great at looking at the predictive timer, and I just kept going really hard the whole rest of the session, not knowing. Except now looking at the predictive, I'm actually doing pretty good. If I don't get caught up by traffic, I might actually be able to do it. Let's see. That's it. Done. Another lift and coast from Miata. Again, still don't have the lap timer where I can see the predictive, so I just kept going hard. Finally run into Daniel Drives on the track in the Crown Vic. He did a fantastic job of kissing all the curbing and launching plenty of pebbles at the GoPro. Listen to how hard he gets on the throttle here mid-corner. Part of me wishes that he would have pointed me by and we could have actually driven together a bit, but I guess he also knew I was on a mission. Trying so hard, bumping that gas, trying to get by. I really do think that Sub2 could have been in the cards that lap if I had gotten a clean lap. Stayed out that session and kept trying real hard. Probably not going to be happening this lap either, though, being a 1.5 seconds up from that 2:01. But I stayed out to play and hopefully get an open lap in here somewhere. Although this late in the session, unlikely for anything magic to happen. Another lap, another chance, chasing some pretty quick cars here. Maybe they'll pull me through or snap over, steer right in front of me because S2000. Nah, never mind. We're 2.5 seconds up. But we got another shot this lap. Can we do it? Let's see what happens. Props to this fella for letting me by easy. Apparently I was a little sloppy in a few areas though, and that time evaporated rather quickly. down over half a second here. Probably not gonna make it happen. Over a second and a half off pace this lap. Not happening. Ugh. 8 laps in, and I guess I just kind of started to lose focus a little bit. Whoops. Very smooth, dude. I also noticed my oil pressure was really low and kind of freaked out a little bit and thought I smashed my oil pan and then sat there to try to verify that I didn't leak out all my oil. Eventually I fired it back up again and had oil pressure, so yeah, must have had something in there and drove back offline all the way around the track. But yeah, not leaking oil, just freaking out. Yeah, I just want to make sure I'm not leaking.
You're good.
Didn't see any leaks or puddles or anything? Okay, great. Since I can't see my phone, I still have no idea how close or far I was from running that sub-2, but Daniel walks over.
That last lap, what happened out there?
Hang on one sec.
Sure.
Damn, 2010!
Oh.
Fuck! Man, yeah, so it came real close. That was the third session. We got, I think, 2 more sessions. I got a little desperate. Pulled the passenger seat out, the big fire extinguisher, the harness on that one side. Just a desperate attempt to get some weight out of the car and maybe go a little faster. Zip tied my 2 element fire extinguishers in there. Got, geez, my guess is probably about 40 or 50 pounds out of the car. But all on that one side, just trying to make it happen. Big old yard sale over here. Just doing my part to keep it classy. All right, backing it into grid, 4th session, trying to be cool. Trying to be calm and collected. Make sure I got all my switches turned off, all that junk. Taking deep breaths. Visualizing. Doing all the things you're supposed to do, because, you know, gotta get that sub-2. Alright, first flyer. Off to a pretty good start here. I think we got, 203 something? Yep, 203.2. Not bad. For a second lap. Let's get after it. Got some Spec Miata boys, look like they're duking it out here right from the jump, spraying a bunch of dust everywhere. Cool. I mean, it is fun and entertaining to watch, but yeah, probably not helping my lap time attempt. And just like that, they're bogging me down, especially in the bus stop here. Not ideal. For as rowdy as they were being a second ago, they are kind of tiptoeing through here. What the heck? Maybe I was a little too patient and gave them a little too much room. I don't know. Maybe I should have been up in there more, but it's HPD, not a race, so you know, don't want to crash or nothing. But yeah, definitely weren't in a hurry to give me any kind of point pie, despite being on their bumper for an entire lap. All right, screw these jabronis. I'm out of here. Sorry. Yeah, too bad. Not exactly the laps I was looking for in the first couple, but hey, at least I got some good chase footage, and props to Cadillac for making a cool car that can go on a racetrack. Foolishly, or maybe desperately, I'm 5-6 laps deep into this, still trying to make that sub-2 lap. Probably not gonna happen, but just giving it my best. Looks like we've reached the fast car, slow driver drag race portion of the afternoon. Looks like the ship's getting a little unsteady out there, but yeah, still no point by, because horsepower. Or maybe that Porsche pride, who knows. Here's me about to crane my neck to look in the rearview mirror to see what lap time I ran in my phone that's behind my head. Definitely a well thought out placement. I really should have known better than to try to stay out behind this Porsche that doesn't like pointing anybody by on lap 8, thinking I'm gonna sub 2. Oh, hey, no, he's letting me go. Oh, what do you know? I think by now I had already decided I was gonna cool it down because it was pretty late in the session. Let some of these other guys go by me. I got one more shot here. Still having a blast either way though. So if you noticed last session, the sun was out, meant the track getting hotter, less grip, less time to be had. So needed some gas, threw in a little 101 octane.
Hit her with a little Biggie 101.
Yep, still desperate. Yeah, kind of freaking out. Last session, last shot here. Daniel's getting ready to go out. I didn't record any paddock footage because I was just freaking out. Taped up all the seams in the car with some duct tape on the outside, make any aero advantage I could. Trying to find my zen here. Be calm and collected behind that C8. Get out on track. I already had some traffic, ran a 203. Nothing crazy here. Had a good couple of laps chasing this Miata, running pretty quick time. Was excited to maybe be able to stick on them, but you know, Corvette gonna do Corvette things. And by Corvette things, I mean overslow for a lot of the corners, and then drag race it out of the hole, leave me in the dust. But then also lift off aggressively well before the braking zone, but not hit the brakes till the braking zone? Question mark. But yeah, definitely floor it. Definitely gap him. I'm not gonna lie, he would definitely gap me by a lot anytime the track straightened out. But man, every corner, I'm packing it up right there. Whole lap later, still not really getting the hint. But then again, I don't know, maybe he thought we were having a good time chasing each other. Didn't realize I was on this crazy mission of a lifetime. He just didn't know. The entire way across the country trying to go sub 2, and he was just driving me bananas. Or at least that's what I kept telling myself. He just doesn't know. He just doesn't know. Not doing it on purpose. Not a bad guy. Not gonna go beat him up in the parking lot afterwards. But like, come on. He's gotta know. Look at him. Look at him. Could just skip the braking and use him to bounce off like Gran Turismo or something in the corner, but I'll be nice. I think this Miata he was chasing out in front must have wore him out, because by some miracle he decided to finally let me by. Stared him down a little bit. Finally behind somebody really quick and legitimate could chase for that sub 2. But yeah, pretty late in the session. We're not off to a terrible start here on lap 6. We ran a 2:01.9. coming up on our first lap chasing Miata Man, and yeah, not as fast as I thought. Maybe I'm getting tired. I don't know. Pretty late in the day. Give it another whack here. Looks like my Miata Man is out, but felt like a pretty good lap. Let's see how we did here. And what do you know? Come around the corner to the checkered flag. That's the end of the session. And I still really have no idea what kind of times I was running because my phone's behind me in the little thing there. So needless to say, the whole cool down lap and pulling into the pits here, I was pretty anxious. Ah, come on, you gotta be kidding me. So close. Well, at least I'm the optimal anyway. I feel like, yeah, definitely no traffic could have made it happen. But that's life when you're sharing the track with C8 Corvettes, or any Corvettes for that matter, huh? Despite falling a little short of the goal, I really can't be that bummed. It was an awesome weekend, super fun track, and I still had Chuckwalla and Laguna Seca coming up to round out my trip. Well, I didn't die at Buttonwillow. I didn't break the car, I didn't blow up the car. I jumped a lot of curbs, but I did not sub-2. I came so freaking close. I don't know if you can see that. 2:01:02. Third to last session before the sun came out. I even took off my windshield wipers, taped up the cowl, the backside there, so the high pressure air wouldn't go in. Taped up the edges of the hood. Taped up on top of the headlights here. Same thing on this side, and I don't know if it worked. I took the spotlight off yesterday and taped that up. I taped all along the bottom of the splitter just to keep air out from going through there, because this isn't really connected anymore in this corner. I'll post some videos, but you can see it flapping in the breeze. It's just plastic garden edging and ripped off the mounts. Same thing on this side. Oh, that one popped in and stayed. We gave it everything we got, and then some, and we came so close. Had a damn good time. Happy I didn't die. I won't say anything mean about the guy in the C8 that held me up for 3 laps or so and ignored the faster traffic behind you flag. Yeah, I won't crab about that. Or my 9 Lives dual element kit. It's still stuck in Georgia somewhere for the last 3 weeks. Might have done it. Oh well, had a blast. We got Chuckwalla on Friday. Finish up my monologue to say bye to Dan. He actually gave me $3 so I could buy a Pepsi. That way maybe I won't fall asleep by the time I pack up my entire yard sale. This stuff's just strewn about everywhere. Everywhere I got junk. Tarps, fucking redneck, meth, I don't even know. Maybe I do belong in Bakersfield. I don't know anything about California, but people talk shit on Bakersfield.
Don't say that about yourself. You're better than that. Yeah, you're welcome.
Thank you so much. I'm gonna turn this off now so I can give Dan a hug. Bye, love you, glad I didn't die. See you next week or something, hopefully. In the Panda Caprice.
such an insane machine. Grand Tour.
Making out with the fuel line. New Year's Day. 3 cars we're gonna break down?
3, yeah, this is worth 3 cars. Got tired of sucking on the fuel line.
Look at this fucking shit. Look at it. I think that's really bad.